such an extent that the rocks are able to contribute uranium to a great extent. So ultimately, the availability of uranium in groundwater is quite high, okay, causing the contamination. Okay. Acha, WHO prescribed level is 30 micrograms per liter. I don't think it is required. You what with respect to answer writing, you need to mostly remember the states and remember this part that India is not having any permissible limits, no limits. Okay, it is the international level on the basis of which these areas have been redlined. Okay. The second one is arsenic. Okay, arsenic is basically a metalloid. What is a metalloid? Have you heard of this term? Heard. Chemistry. Correct. Exactly. Something between metal and non-metal. Okay. That is known as a metalloid. So it is basically odorless, tasteless metalloid, and it is actually highly toxic in nature. Okay. In its inorganic form, arsenic in its pure form is not that big problem. In its inorganic form, if it combines with something and forms an inorganic compound, then that is very toxic. Okay. Poor cognitive development. This is most common in eastern part of India, in Bihar, UP, to a great extent. I think the red-lined area is that of Ghazipur or Gorakhpur in UP, which is very close to Bihar boundary. UP, lying in UP, which is very close to Bihar boundary. So these areas, East UP, Bihar, West Bengal region, arsenic contamination is quite high. Okay. Now, with respect to arsenic, recently what we have found is, initially we were expecting only it in groundwater, okay? But because groundwater has been used for irrigation in agriculture, now we are finding arsenic in rice, wheat and potato also, okay? So now it has started to enter the food chain. Obviously, if it is entering these areas, it is entering into our body also. If it is getting deposited in the fat and not liquid, that means it will go above in the food chain also, okay? What it causes is the black foot disease. This is what is a black foot disease. Okay, your the palms, it gets deposited in the palms, and these areas become very hard. Okay, both in hands as well as in legs. This is known as the black foot disease because of arsenic contamination. Okay, amongst children, this is again a very big problem. I told you it leads to poor cognitive development. Poor cognitive development, brain development has reduced. Okay, so it is a bigger problem, especially in amongst children. That is related to arsenic. I'll give you time to write. Okay, this is the region for arsenic contamination, and especially this one. Okay, I'm telling you the region which is this region, the region of UP which is close to Bihar boundary. This is a red line, recognized by Government of India, also recognized by WHO also in terms of arsenic contamination and black foot disease. Okay. Affected areas, I'll just tell you the districts and its location. You don't need to remember them. You just remember the Ganga belt, Northern Plains and Ganga belt, and that will be sufficient. Okay. In Bihar, this is Buxar again close to UP boundary. Bhojpur, Saran, Patna, Vaishali, Samastipur. All of this region is southern part of Bihar, close to UP boundary. Correct. In UP also, Unnao, Allahabad, Varanasi, Ghazipur, Balia. Unnao is relatively towards the Delhi side. Okay. Unnao is more towards the western part of UP. Okay. In West Bengal, it is Malda, Murshidabad, Nadia, Bardwan, North 24. So this is southern part of West Bengal, not the northern part. Okay. So basically, it is the Ganga region which is infamous for arsenic contamination, black foot disease. Okay. Next comes is fluoride. So fluoride contamination in water. This is permissible up to 1 mg per liter. Okay. 1 milligram per liter is required. This amount of fluorine which is required in human body. Okay. If it crosses 1.5 milligram per liter, then it leads to mottled teeth. This is what is a mottled teeth. Okay. It will lead to yellow color deposition in teeth as well as in nails. That is fluoride contamination. Okay. Fluoride contamination will lead to all calcium related disease, matlab easy breaking of bones, arthritis, osteoporosis and all that. Okay? And this is a big problem. Infertility in women, this is not very common to all the pollution that we have read, not related to nitrates, not related to arsenic, uranium, nothing. Fluoride contamination will lead to infertility amongst women. Okay? Again, Alzheimer's is same as writing cancer and death. For any disease, ultimately, if you are reading in newspapers, they will be writing that it will lead to cancer and death. Okay, not every disease leads to cancer and death, but that's what you need to understand the major issues. For example, fluoride, say mottled teeth or fluorosis. Okay, or this is also known as knock-knee syndrome. Matlab, the legs will turn like this. Legs will turn like this. Okay, this is also known as knock-knee syndrome, again because of fluoride contamination. Okay. Okay, next one is nitrate pollution. Nitrate, we know that it is present naturally also, artificially also. Artificially, matlab agricultural runoff. Nitrogen mein urea is the major input of fertilizer, right? Agricultural runoff, matlab all that will enter into groundwater or surface water. Okay. So, anthropogenic major causes fertilizer. Also, sewage and septic tank dumping in sea. So, untreated waste water, if it is dumped into surface water or groundwater, then that will also lead to contamination. Okay, depending upon what metal or what non-metal is entering into surface or groundwater. Natural matlab, in case of natural deposition of nitrates, it will also include decomposition of any body, any mammal, any animal. Okay, decomposition, because I told you our cells are majorly composed of CHNO. Okay, nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so nitrogen contamination will also occur because of decomposition. Okay, but this is not decomposition itself is a very slow process. It will give time for the soil to absorb those nitrogen or nitrates. Okay, if it is artificial, matlab too much amount of nitrogen is getting entering into surface water or groundwater, that sudden dumping will not be able to, the soil will not be able to absorb that much amount of nitrate. Getting my point? Nitrogen contamination. So that this is a bigger problem. This is a relatively smaller problem, because decomposition, I'm telling you, it's a slow process. It will give the time to absorb that much amount of nitrogen. That is not the case with artificial deposition of nitrogen. Okay. I think this is the last part of water pollution. And last part is marine oil spill. Marine oil spill, by name itself we understand. In this case of water pollution, oil is getting spilled over large water bodies. It can be oceans, it can be seas, it can be bays, gulf and anything. But it should be a large water body. Okay. So this marine oil spill, it can occur because of, let's say, accidents between ships, burning of ships, overturning of ships, tankers, okay, oil tankers, or any kind of, for example, Iran had bombed America bagged oil tanker somewhere. So bombing of such tanks will also cause oil spill at those regions. For example, Russian oil spill which occurred in Arctic, a major news, because in Arctic Ocean we do not want at least oil spill to occur. Okay, so Russian oil tanker being spilling over crude petroleum over Arctic became a very big news. Okay? So marine oil spill is another source of water pollution. Now what happens because of marine oil spill is there is a thick layer of slack, we call this thick layer of oil which gets deposited on water body. Okay? Because it is a thick layer and crude petroleum is dark in color. So it will reduce the photosynthesis process. It will reduce the amount of sunlight which is entering into the water body here. Okay? So automatically the marine life gets affected, photosynthesis gets affected, corals get affected. But corals will not be a very big problem if it is deep sea. Deep sea will not be finding corals. But marine life does get affected very often. Okay? Photosynthesis and all, and inside the water body, the entire marine life is getting affected, be it animals, be it zooplanktons, phytoplanktons, or fishes, anybody. Okay, what is happening on the surface is there are, for example, seagulls, certain birds which will feed on fishes in deep sea. Okay, So once they come to the surface, because they have to catch fish and they will come to the surface, oil gets deposited on these wings and they are not able to fly back again. Okay, they will die because of oil deposition on these wings itself. Okay, so it will cause death of seabirds such as seagulls, or mass death of fishes and turtles that we saw because of reduced intake of sunlight. Okay, it also leads to heat coma. For example, there is marine oil spill and fire broke out on that. Okay, so it will cause intense heating of this region. Okay, so the organisms, aquatic organisms can die because of heat coma because of this, or also because of lack of penetration of sunlight. Oxygen availability will reduce, so they will die again. Okay, so heat coma most commonly is because of the increased temperature of water body because of the deposition of oil at the surface. Okay. Now, this can also be a threat to mangrove and tourism and livelihood, because ultimately what happens is, let's say we did not collect back oil. Okay, there was a marine oil spill and oil was left on sea. So slowly and slowly it will come to coast and get deposited on coast, and the coast will start looking black, deep black in color. Okay, so it affects the tourism, affects the livelihood, affects mangroves, and affects the aquatic life at the shore also. Okay, the fisheries, every sector which is based on sea beaches. Okay, it can be tourism or service given to tourism sector, or livelihood, or aquatic and marine life, or people who are dependent on these fishes. All of this are getting affected because oil is getting deposited at the shore. Okay, so for all of this we signed a convention, international convention, international maritime international organization. It's an international maritime organization which has signed a marine pollution convention. This is commonly known as MARPOL convention. Okay, MARPOL convention has stated that every country must develop their own pollution emergency plans. Okay, so if in case by your country or in your coastal area marine pollution has occurred, then you must have a pollution emergency plan. Okay, second point, it is your responsibility. Whoever has dropped that or left that oil spill, whoever has caused that oil spill, it is your responsibility to clean up that slick. Okay, and the third is shift to double hull. Now, what is a double hull structure? This is a single hull structure. Okay, I'm telling you that marine oil spill is also occurring because of colliding ships. So colliding ships may this parts breaks off and the oil comes on water. Okay, if it's a double hull structure, then this will not happen. So these were some of the recommendations from the MARPOL Convention of 1973. Okay. Now coming to the solution of water pollution. You remember what all problems we discussed related to water pollution? Groundwater depletion and contamination, right? Contamination because of various sources, uranium, arsenic, nitrate, fluoride. Okay. So on the basis of that, can you give me solutions to this? To the solutions to water pollution? Because for marine oil spill, this is little technical. The non-technical part, can you tell me? Rainwater harvesting. So groundwater replenishment. Okay, but we have already discussed about this part. Na? Groundwater replenishment we have discussed in the last class. Okay, I'm talking about groundwater pollution. Rainwater harvesting. Correct. So limit on extraction or limit on usage, for that will be true for all the pollutants. Groundwater extraction I'm not telling, because this is a solution to groundwater replenishment. The problem is groundwater depletion. I'm not discussing about groundwater depletion. I'm asking you solutions for groundwater pollution because of uranium, arsenic, fluoride, or nitrate. Nitrate we did not discuss. Blue baby syndrome, I did not tell you. Oh, sorry. This causes blue baby syndrome. Okay, blue baby syndrome because it will combine with hemoglobin. Okay, so it combines with hemoglobin and the oxygen is not transported to all the parts of the body. Okay, so the child which is newborn, they will turn blue in color, okay, because of lack of oxygen availability. So that causes blue baby syndrome. Okay, nitrogen pollution. So we were discussing about solutions to water pollution. Correct. Any example? Correct. Neem coated urea can be an example. So what is the advantage of using a neem coated urea? Slow absorption of urea occurs. That is the advantage of neem coated urea. So ultimately the amount of fertilizer consumed will reduce. Okay. Low quantity of what? Correct. So it reduces the rate of misuse of water.
Subsidies issued, then factories will take urea from subsidy vendors. But when we quote it neem, it cannot happen. These other products. That's the main reason they quote urea with neem.
The main reason they quote urea with neem is slow absorption. First point, because of slow absorption, the amount of fertilizer consumption itself is reduced. That means with the same amount of fertilizer, you will be able to fertilize more number of, or provide fertilizer to more number of plants. But what is the corruption part involved here? You are saying that fertilizer, we are giving subsidies, so there can be involvement of corruption. Fertilizer factories. Acha. So if it is neem coated urea, they will not take it directly from shop. Acha, you are talking about those industries which require urea. Acha, they will take the subsidized one. Okay, they cannot take the neem coated urea as subsidized one. Correct, can be a pointer. What he is saying is those fertilizers those factories wherein we require urea itself as an input, okay, they can also make use of the subsidized urea. Thereby there is an involvement of corruption, because subsidized urea is available only for farmers, right? So there is an involvement of corruption, because they can directly take the subsidized urea. Okay, in case of neem coated urea, that is not possible, because they want the direct urea itself. Okay, so reduction in corruption. But we shift towards water treatment before discharging. Correct. Water treatment before discharging. Okay, or even sewage treatment plants. For domestic, it can be sewage treatment plants. For industries, it can be industrial level treatment itself. Matlab removal of heavy metals. Okay. Any other solution? E-waste is not developed.
Those will have some chemicals also.
Cadmium and all.
Then could get released.
But e-waste, it is getting deposited in water. It is more of a soil problem.
When rainwater comes, then it will.
It is ultimately entering into the groundwater. So you mean e-waste recycling can be a solution? Okay, e-waste recycling can be a solution. Or shift to organic farming. Okay, ZBNF. Or shift to organic farming or zero budget natural farming can be another solution. Any other solution?
Can we give the solution as subsidies for industries who go green? Like
Incentivize.
Incentivize industries who go green. That is, so they don't pollute the river, but try recycling or.
Go green, matlab you mean to say the energy consumption also being green?
Energy consumption also, and waste reduction.
So incentivize. Okay, so waste minimization circles. Okay, so your point is correct. The technical part of it we will be reading today. Okay, what he is saying as a solution is we need to incentivize those industries which are not dumping wastewater in ground or surface water, in sea or river, anywhere. Okay, we need to incentivize those companies. So for that, we have developed a mechanism called waste minimization circles. We'll be reading about waste minimization circle today. Okay. Nuclear testing. No. See, we are not undertaking uranium. The uranium contamination is not related to nuclear power plants, right? We do not have any power plants there in that region. Rawat Bhatta, huh?
Stop testing in water.
But we are testing in acha soil, sand. We have tested earlier in sand.
America tested it in the
We have also tested Pokhran.
No, in ocean. America tested one atomic bomb.
America will do it in Hawaiian Islands. That's their own territory. That's their own territory. But we have also done on sand, soil. Pokhran was done on sand only. Was not done on water. Okay, so testing of uranium nuclear devices, nuclear missiles on sand or on soil or on water also. Both, huh?
Providing safe drinking water. They're using water treatment.
So ultimately the solution is water treatment only. Okay, but yes, this can be a solution. No, but pata nahi. In that case, are you asking us not to become a nuclear? Where will we test otherwise?
Rather than testing it in water,
In
water we can test it in sand or desert.
But what if it is contaminating the groundwater?
In desert,
It will. It will. It should. At least the red line is showing this. Oh.
better to test the
Pata nahi. I can't say because marine life is also equally getting affected. Land is also equally getting affected.
nuclear testing in the exosphere.
Inhabited areas, ma'am. Inhabited areas.
That's too costly if you're if you not even economically feasible. So his ideas are like that only. But yes, no. But see, ultimately, scientists will have to think of the route of the track. For example, he is okay. One kind of person. He will have such kind of ideas. It's good that he's implementing it also, but there is ideological mismatch with Elon Musk. So let us not discuss him. But can we test it in exosphere? The first big problem with India is money. One very big problem. Apart from that, we do not know the consequences of that.
Exosphere, there are not much particles, right? There is very low density. But that is low density.
Pata nahi, I would still say that we do not know the consequences of it.
We can do it on barren lands.
We can do it on barren lands, but barren lands will still have ground. We did it on barren land only in Pokhran, right? It was not an uninhabited area. Groundwater.
If we do it in exosphere, if charged particles are formed, it will just go and settle in ionosphere only.
So we do have radiations in exosphere. I'm saying that how the radiations will interact, that we do not know. Okay, an area of research. We need to first find it out in lab. What will be its reaction? Okay, only in that case it can be done. See, ultimately it is that part of science which nobody would have thought of. For example, we never thought of a machine speaking like human beings or understanding in human languages, right? But we do have such kind of machines now. We have you seen that movie I, Robot? It's I've seen, right? iRobot is a Hollywood movie which is talking about a time wherein robots have turned against humanity. Okay, so we have never thought of such situation. But if you see the reports, newspaper reports of what this America has made one female lady robot, no? Sophia. What? Huh? There is one made by US also, and they asked us, what do you choose between war and peace? And she chose war. What do you choose between humanity and robots? And she chose robots. Human beings are fools to make us such kind of statements they have made. So we never thought movies like iRobot will come in reality, but it has come in reality. So this is also a possible situation. Can be done, but then we will have to test for the consequences. Okay, coming back to water pollution and solutions. So solution is first and foremost is treat the wastewater. You treat the industrial water for heavy metals. You treat the domestic water, remove the organics, okay, organic component from water. Okay, in case of there can be bioremediations also. Bioremediation matlab we are providing nutrient as well as water and carrying out reactions such that we will be able to remove the metals from it or remove the organic part of it, at least segregate the two. ठीक है, organic and inorganic components को we will be able to segregate by techniques of supplying nutrient as well as oxygen in water. ठीक है. The other two are solutions to marine oil spill. The first one is boom. This is boom and this is skimmer. Boom mein what we are doing is we are encircling that oil spill wala region, okay, and collecting it back. And after that, once you have collected it, concentrated it, ultimately you can make use of bacteria. For example, oil zapper or your S. Okay, these are names of certain bacteria which can be used to stick it, coagulate it. Okay, it will become one solid ball or some rounded object which can be easily removed. Or if you can make the use of boom technique, matlab you can able to collect this. Now you segregate this much part of water, okay, and remove the oil, leave the water. So such kind of solutions can be used for oil spill. The other one is skimmer. Skimmer mein what we are doing is we are rotating it. This you can see this rotation part. By rotating it, what we are doing is again concentrating it. Okay, concentrating it in particular region. Once you have concentrated, again you can make use of bacteria or remove that much part of water, remove the oil, segregate the oil and water separately. ठीक है. So boom and skimmers both can be the solution to marine oil spill. Okay. In India, Coast Guard is responsible. Marpol Convention, you remember, we need to set up pollution emergency plans. In India, this is done by Coast Guard. That's the nodal agency in India. Okay. Now, effects of water pollution. So, this you need to memorize. With respect to mercury, it is Minamata. Where is this located? Minamata? Correct. This incident occurred in Japan, after which we have named the disease itself in Minamata, by the name Minamata. So mercury contamination will cause Minamata. In India, I remember, I think last year itself, Karnataka government has banned fishes coming from Kerala because of mercury contamination itself. Okay? Cadmium will lead to itai disease. Okay, nitrates we discussed, blue baby syndrome. And hospital discharge to water bodies will have its own consequences. For example, that means we are releasing antimicrobials also. We are releasing chemical hazards also, medicines also. We are releasing blood and all other such associated disease also in water bodies by hospital discharge. So some of the major effects of water pollution can also be spread of an epidemic or endemic because of consumption of such groundwater or surface water. Okay. And the last part is algal bloom. You guys remember algal bloom? Eutrophication. What was happening in eutrophication? Excessive nutrients entering into water, which is leading to excessive growth of algae. Now, what will happen is all this algae dying together and the decomposition has to take place. In this decomposition process, they will consume too much amount of oxygen, which will ultimately increase the BOD of the water body. Okay? So algal bloom, harmful algal bloom, spread of water hyacinth and all that can be problems. Biohazard waste. Biomedical waste. Sorry? You mean to say, it requires treatment before discharge. So biomedical waste management rules we have asked the hospitals to segregate such kind of waste into 4 categories, whether it is hazardous, non-hazardous, radioactive and all that. Okay, so 4 categories this segregation must be done. After this segregation, treatment must be done. ठीक है. Ultimately, if it is a running water and it is controlled discharge, then it is not a problem. Until and unless it is not a controlled discharge, like what happened in COVID-19, then that is a problem. Okay, running water, I am telling you, running water has a very big advantage of recovering. Okay, turbulence. Okay, there I think I discussed this in that class where you were talking about eutrophication in rivers also, that for replenishment of Ganga, we had two committees. One was based on Nirmal Dhara and the other one was based on Aviral Dhara. Okay, one was Girdhar, and the other one was Chitale. Two committees were made, and both of them were focused on ensuring that the water should be continuously turbulent and flowing. This is not happening with respect to Yamuna, and that is why we are almost calling it as a dead river. Okay, it is not. How to ensure controlled form may you can still this. I'm still telling that there is not a problem. If it is uncontrolled, then that is a problem. No, they will have. For example, COVID-19 mein unburnt body, partially burnt body were this. Completely turning into ashes. With respect to COVID, we still cannot say anything. If the bacteria was still present in the body, we are expecting it to completely burn out, right? But accepting those diseases for which research is not sufficiently done. Generally, it is not a problem. Ashes is not a problem. Generally, dumping ashes in river bodies are not a problem until and unless it is in a controlled format. Okay. Until if it becomes uncontrolled or partially burnt bodies, then that is a problem. Okay. So with respect to water pollution, we came up with an act in 1974 itself, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1974. Under this, we created one body by the name CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board. And initially, because it was created under water, so it was tasked only to conserve water pollution, control of water pollution. But now CPCB is the nodal body of controlling all kinds of all kinds of pollution, air also, water also, soil also. Okay? Did we remember? Do you remember any initiative of CPCB or any scheme wherein CPCB was the nodal agency in air pollution? In groundwater, we were reading about 4 agencies: CWC, CPCB, Groundwater Board, and Groundwater Authority. I am asking in air pollution, because in water we know that the body has created this, so it will burn for water. In air, do you guys remember anything? NAX, AQI, AQI में CPCB was the nodal agency. Okay. In soil also, you'll see we will be having, for example, plastic waste management rules or e-waste management rules or solid waste management rules. In all such cases, CPCB will be the nodal body. Okay. Okay. So, with respect to water pollution, I told you that this was the apex body which was created for controlling water pollution. Okay. Now, sewage water treatment ke liye we have various solutions. The first solution is that of coagulation. Coagulation mein what we are doing is we are coagulating, making it a one solid body and removing the impurities. Okay. This is most commonly done by using aluminium sulfate or alum. Okay. Aluminium sulfate or alum is a chemical which will help in collecting certain kinds of inorganic elements from water. Most commonly, it is nitrates. Okay. Sedimentation is another process which you would have seen in earlier, before RO we used to have candle filters. In that we were making use of sedimentation. Sedimentation basically means we are allowing the coarse substances to settle down and drawing water from the top. Okay, that is sedimentation. Filtration matlab partially we are putting up a membrane which is allowing partial crossing of water. Something will be allowed to pass through that membrane, the other things will not be allowed to pass through the membrane. Again, the example of candle filters, if you have seen any candle filter? Seen? 2 candles we used to put and 2 steel jars were there. Post 91 LPG, post LPG generation will not see candle filters. But see, I'll tell you how does the mechanism works is there were two candles, okay, and you have to manually fill water in one side, okay, and the candle filter will filter water slowly and slowly, drip by drip, and fill the second chamber. Okay, from second chamber you will have an option of drawing water. So in that itself, we are making use of sedimentation because we are allowing the water to deposit the coarse elements at the base. Second, in that we are also using filtration. Matlab filtration, these are the candle filters. You will have to time scrub to remove the water, I mean the impurities. Okay. Disinfection, matlab we are making use of chlorine. This is very common in swimming pools these days. Okay. Chlorine, very commonly we will be putting chlorines in water and it will cause disinfection. It will remove the impurities. Okay. Rather kill the impurities. That's by oxidation process. Yes, it does create a skin issue. Correct. Oxidation is the process in chlorination. Okay. Okay, in sewage treatment itself, we are also making use of fluoridation. Fluoridation is most, as the name suggests, to remove fluorides. For this, we are making use of alum or lime or sodium carbonate. Okay. For pH correction, we can make use of simple lime. Here, lime is not this lemon juice. What is lime? H. CaO, sorry, calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is the lime which we are using here. Okay? For pH correction. For removal of iron, limestone and then oxidation. Initially, we'll put limestone and then oxidize it. So what we get is insoluble ferric oxide. So you simply remove the ferric oxide and what you are getting is a pure water. Okay? Removal of arsenic can be done by simple bleaching powder or alum. Okay? Again, the process of oxidation. In case of another solution which has been introduced is that of eco-sand. Eco-sand refers to double pit. Double pit you would not have seen. In rural areas, this is also a new idea itself. What we are making use of is simple dry toilets. Okay, in what toilets you are using today these days is after using the toilet, you are making use of flush, right? Here we do not have a provision of flushing. Okay, it's a simple dry toilet. All the waste is getting accumulated in one area. Okay, and once it gets filled, you change the pot itself. There are two pits. Okay, you shift to the other pot and this is getting decomposed. Okay, the waste is getting decomposed, and by that time you are using the other one. Okay, again waiting to fill this and then shift to the first one. So you are giving time for decomposition and generating biogas out of it. Okay, that is the idea of eco-sand, double pit. Sorry. This is used in plain areas also, warm areas also, in rural areas very commonly. Dry toilets, they do not have provision of flush. Sorry. Trains may we have bio toilets. Trains may we have bio toilets. Here we are injecting bacteria. Okay, this bacteria is decomposing this excreta, which is ultimately releasing gas and water. This gas is being collected. Okay. So these were some of the problems and solutions to water pollution. We have already written this question, right? We have written this question in last class itself. Groundwater. Okay. Will you take photograph or? We have to cover soil pollution today. Candle filters. Yes, this one. From here, right? Because we have soil pollution also. Celebrity. Ready? Oh, I don't have any questions for today. don't think you will be getting a question on one fixed element, matlab only arsenic, only uranium, only nitrate. No, you will be getting a full-fledged question on groundwater pollution. Okay, so if you are getting a question on groundwater pollution, you draw the map of India, just rough hand map. I'll show you how I used to draw this. That's it. Even if you are able to draw this, because this is consuming less amount of time, you put a circle here and write uranium, put a circle here, write arsenic. Okay? And then start writing related to arsenic, uranium and all that. Ganga belt, population is the most important reason. Because of population, over exploitation has occurred. Industries are not, this is mostly agriculture region. And which kind of industries is one oil refinery in the entire region from here to here? Here we still have iron, aluminium, cement. But the region of uranium contamination is mostly agriculture. No. That side, Narora. That side, west part of UP. Then why this part? I'm telling you, this is mostly because of agricultural extraction of groundwater. Whether Narora will contaminate. See, if they are discharging waste to groundwater or surface or open river, then that will definitely cause contamination. If they are treating it and then not allowing the harmful chemicals, then it will not. Okay. Which is the major contributor of arsenic? Arsenic coming from rocks. Mostly. Arsenic coming from rocks. ठीक है?
Goes into the flowing water. Will the intensity will increase of the pollution because in the homeopathy they say if homeopathy medicines they have the same principle that they take a small part of medicine and they mix it with water. They do it at
levels. So you are saying ki if small amount of arsenic is okay, asking ki small amount of arsenic is entering into the river, will it spread to other areas? Yes. Forget about principle of diffusion also says the same thing. If you are mixing sugar with water, okay, and it is you have let's say 20 spoons of sugar in 1 glass of water, and you mix this with one full bucket of water, the entire bucket will turn sweet, right? So this will happen. See, it all depends upon whether it is water soluble or fat soluble. Similarly, if an element is supposed to cause bioaccumulation, matlab it must be fat soluble, not water soluble. Water soluble matlab it will go off. Fat soluble matlab it will get deposited. Right. Done? Very rare are the chances of such kind of questions. But pre-2013, the questions were asked like this. For example, they will name the element and they will ask you what disease is it causing and whether it is a correct pair or not. Now, post 2018-19, we are shifting towards pre-2013 kind of paper. The level of difficulty has shifted to that level. Okay, after 2013, the paper became very easy. Okay, if you remember, 126 for general category, I'm saying 106 was the cutoff. People have scored 126, 130, 140 marks also, okay, in 17-18. So after 2019 onwards, the difficulty has been changed to pre-2013 level. So you can again expect such kind of questions. Sorry. Itai. हाँ. Yes. Minamata के लिए have we read any convention? Hmm? What was Montreal for? Ozone depletion. Name of the convention for Montreal? Vienna Convention, correct. And for Minamata, the name of the convention is also Minamata Convention only, which is a GEF funded organization. If it is GEF funded, it is very important. Very important. Okay? So Minamata is GEF funded. Stockholm will be GEF funded. We'll read Stockholm today. Done with this slide? Environment facility. Economics is not there in that. But it is related to an economic body only. It's a financing body for climate finance. Done. Now you tell me about the soil pollution causes. Soil pollution. Soil pollution, fertilizer. Okay, soil salinity, resulting into soil salinity. And what else? So disposal of waste. It can be domestic, it can be industrial. So from industrial, more or less heavy metals. From domestic, it will be organic. In general, organic pollutants. Okay. And soil pollution, pesticides. So agriculture. Nobody said pesticides. Huh? Okay. So pesticides. Agriculture is a major source of soil pollution. So more or less, we need to think on those lines only. Domestic, industries. How are we reading it in groundwater? Domestic, industries, agriculture, and governance. So governance part is not, because here we are discussing about problems. So governance part will not come into picture. Okay, the causes of soil pollution include that of plastic, most commonly rural household disposal, or industries. Say this is not a major pollutant. Domestic solid waste, mostly organic in nature, in general organic in nature, other than plastic. Industrial effluents, mostly heavy metals in nature. Pesticides, most commonly DDT and endosulfan. And acid rain. Because of this, it is increasing the pH of Indian soils. But in general, Indian soil is alkaline. Matlab pH value more than 7. Correct, more than 7. So because Indian soil is in general alkaline, so acid rain has not affected Indian soil so much. Okay? The effects can be so cause of soil pollution. So effects can be soil erosion and leaching more commonly. Okay, because there is deposition of heavy metals and there is occurrence of rainfall, it is causing soil to leach. Okay, land desertification, unhealthy soil for agriculture because excessive fertilizer and excessive irrigation has turned the soil saline. Okay, or there can be difference in salinity, pH, and alkalinity. So these factors will vary depending upon what kind of pollution has been caused. Okay. The first one is the solid waste, and this became a very big problem because there was a dump yard in Mumbai, okay, which caught fire, and it was an open dump. Matlab solid waste was getting deposited. The entire urban Mumbai's solid waste is getting deposited in only 3 areas. Okay? This was one of the area which caught fire because of some organic dump which was highly flammable. Okay, and it caught fire for 15 days. For 15 days continuously it was burning and releasing toxic dust in Mumbai. Okay, from there we had an idea, we shifted to this idea that we must develop a plan for solid waste. Okay? And then we came up with the solid waste management rules that we'll be reading today. In general, you need to remember this data that in only the urban India is generating 62 million tons per annum. 62 million tons of solid waste only from domestic areas per annum is being generated. Within Bangalore also, if you go to the area close to airport, okay, you will see mountains. From distance it will look like a hill, but if you go close you will see that it is a solid waste dump yard. Okay, there are mountains of dump yards like this, and that too I'm saying ki with all of this you will see Bangalore is following one of the best practices. Even after that we have that such kind of dump yards in Bangalore. Okay, but we do have such kind of dump yards everywhere in major metropolitan areas, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, and Chennai, and Bangalore, Hyderabad also has such kind of dump yards. But amongst all of them, Bangalore is the best one because they are Bangalore as well as Pune. Pune's governance structure, you will be reading it in GS paper 2, governance area. Pune Chinchwad Municipal Corporation has been continuously awarded the best municipal corporation for third or fourth consecutive year. Okay, apart from this, Indore Municipal Corporation, Indore we know that it's the cleanest city in India for 6th consecutive time. Indore Municipal Corporation is also following one of the best practices, but because the population is very small here as compared to what is living in Bangalore or Hyderabad, so we say it is relatively manageable. But Pune Chinchwad Municipal Corporation and the other one was Indore Municipal Corporation, these two are one of the best in handling waste. Okay? Now, 62 million tons per annum is the generation from only urban India, domestic solid waste. The problem here is whatever finances we are providing to such kind of ministry or such kind of schemes or waste collection and segregation, all of this money may 3/4 money is being spent on collection and transportation. So almost nothing is left for processing and resource recovery. Matlab you are spending too much money in collection or spending too much money in transportation because the trucks have to cross almost the entire city to dump it somewhere. Okay, only 1/4 is being spent on processing and resource recovery, so obviously this is not progressing. Okay, the solutions also you will be finding key you fund this area, processing and resource recovery, and all the solutions will be majorly based on resource recovery, recycle, reuse, and all such 4 Rs. Okay, the solution will be most commonly waste to compost. Matlab you shift this waste to compost. You segregate the organic and inorganic waste, and whatever is the organic waste being generated, you generate a compost out of it. Okay, waste to compost and biomethanation plants. Biomethanation plants matlab basically we are generating methane out of biocompost. Okay, you burn it, pyrolysis, you incomplete burn it, incineration, you do whatever you are doing, you generate biogas out of it, that is methane out of it. Okay, now coming to the solid waste management rules. Okay, solid waste management rules, this came in 2016. It says that there is a responsibility of the generator matlab people like you and me, we will have the responsibility to segregate our waste into wet waste, dry waste, and hazardous waste. Okay, wet waste most commonly is the organic part, okay, which can generate compost, which can be used in compost or which can be used in generation of biogas. Okay, dry waste is something which is usually non-biodegradable or its biodegradability cycle is very long. Okay, so that is your dry waste. The third and last is this is hazardous. Okay, hazardous can be any can be electronic waste, can be biomedical waste also. From homes, biomedical waste can also be hazardous waste. Okay, these are responsibility of the generator to segregate it into 3 categories. The responsibility of the duty of the generator is also to give 2 fees. The first one is user fee. This is the collection fees. Okay, you give money because they are collecting it from you. And the second one is spot fine. Spot fining is for littering. If you throw the waste anywhere, okay, for example, while walking on road, I was eating chips and I threw it on packet, and she came and she has complained to the police, then I'll have to pay spot fine. This is the fine for littering. Okay. There will be a responsibility of manufacturers of disposable products. Okay, this can be waste management or collect back. For example, whatever waste you are generating, whatever waste industries are generating, they will either have to develop mechanism for waste management. Matlab this waste, whether to recycle it, whether to reuse it, whether to process it, whether to change its state, by some or the other means you must manage this waste or you collect it back. If you cannot manage the waste, then you collect it back. This is the responsibility of such kind of dry waste, matlab plastic waste, can be electronic waste. Okay, now from here we will shift towards plastic waste management rules and e-waste management rules also. Okay, but this is one another responsibility, that you either manage the waste or collect it back. Okay, and last thing, there are others also, but these were the major pointers, that any substance which you are dumping in waste, its calorific value should not be more than 1500. Okay, because if its calorific value is such high, it will turn into what happened in Mumbai disaster. Okay. Okay. So solid waste management के लिए there is another news कि Parliamentary Standing Committee on Urban Development, this was created in 2021 itself. Okay, it says that there are certain recommendations which it is asking for. First recommendation is you must include all kinds of stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders, you tell me? Okay. Municipality, because it is the government's land which is being used, municipality which is collecting. Anyone else? Kabadi walas, yes, I was looking for this. Informal sector, I'll call them. Okay, the one who is collecting, huh? No, they are not coming under municipalities. Those who are collecting kabadis, the glass waste or tin waste, the metal base, they are not coming under municipality. They are the informal sector. Almost 2% of your employment or 2% of solid waste management employment is given to them, but they are not even coming under formal sector. Okay, this was one of the recommendation, that you include these rag pickers. First of all, can you think of solutions? What will be the advantages if we are pulling them in formal sector? Huh? Social inclusion. Okay, ESIC benefits will be able to give them. Matlab security, social security benefits. Huh?
Because government spending will be reduced if they collect all their.
In many areas, these rag because they are children, right?
Ha.
So if this is used, then
that means we'll not be able to employ children there. Yes, so that is good, no? Why? That's something very important. What she's saying is, see, some of the major advantages someone said was social benefits. We will be able to provide them with social benefits. Okay, because of this, they will be socially inclusive also. Social inclusion. Have you seen how they have been treated outside? People won't touch them or even go close by them, because they are rag pickers. They are carrying a big bag and manual scavengers. They are treated as bad as manual scavengers only. Okay, so social benefits, matlab we will be able to provide them with insurance, health insurance benefits or educational benefits. Okay, so this will cause social inclusion also. Plus, child labor will be reduced, because if you would have seen those who are carrying bags, they have a long stick and they are picking up plastics. Have you seen such kind of rag pickers? They are actually segregating waste. And who are they? They are mostly children. So if we are able to put them into formal sector, we will be able not employ them in such kind of business. Okay, so we will be able to tackle the child labor problem also. Health insurance, so social benefits. So basically we will be able to tackle the health part. So that ultimately, because of this too, we will be able to tackle the poverty part. Okay. And what else can you think of? Any other? Impossible to? No, I am asking them to put them into formal sector. If you are a rag picker, register yourself in municipality.
There are many, like if we go and talk to them, they are common because we talk also they are in like that. But it is impossible to ask them to register themselves.
No, what if they are getting the benefits? You will be getting a proper salary. You will be getting health benefits. Why will they not register? Your children will go to school. Why will they not register? Okay, matlab all in all, I'm saying ki we need to educate them to enter into the formal chain. See, there are so many advantages. This is not only social, they also have financial advantages. Okay, they will be having a bank account. They will be getting salary in their bank account. Like for street vendors, we have a scheme. You're talking about the scheme only, na? Um, something similar, but not very convinced. Swanidhi, no, sure. Okay, yes, it can be a scheme also, but I'm saying you can introduce this change in solid waste management rules also, that you can register yourself in municipality as a rag picker. Okay, in that case, you will be getting social benefits, you will be getting financial benefits, we will be able to tackle child labor, we will be able to tackle the health related issues. No, you just don't have to register, you will have to bring rags to the municipality also, na? That's what.
Does rat pickers have a proper social structure? Like, do they have family?
No. They do have family. Why will they not be having?
Wife and children.
They will be having family. They will be having. But wanderers will still have a family, na?
They does not settle in one place, so it is a nomadic lifestyle. They won't be.
Why do you think in nomadic lifestyle people will not have families? No, they do have. They do have. We have tribes such as nomads which are having their family.
They move as a tribe, right? But rat pickers mostly I have seen. I'm not sure. They move. They are nomadic and they move
From one place to another.
So giving them this social benefits and social inclusion won't help, because won't help, right? Because if you go and say I give you employment, I don't need employment.
They need employment because they need salary. They will be getting health benefits. You can go to hospital and treat yourself. At least they care about themselves, right? No. Okay, in general, I'm saying, in general, they do have families. There can be a set which will not be having families, which will not be having a settled lifestyle. Even if in that case, they will be getting a salary, they will be getting health benefits. These are some of the major. See, responsibility of government is to ensure that they are getting health benefits, right? Every citizen is healthy. That is the responsibility of the government. Formal employment. Yes, that is what I'm trying to say. We need to recognize this as a formal employment, because they are the ones who are majorly segregating waste. They are the ones who are picking up plastics, and the plastic and non-plastic waste segregation is being done by them. Separation is being done by them. So see, our houses also, we are dumping it like this only. Food also in plastic waste. Aren't we doing that? What if we are able to segregate it at the home level itself? Then we don't even need such kind of people, right? But because they are working currently, so we need to give them a kind of employment, formal employment, register themselves. There will be certain social benefits, there will be certain economic benefits, but there ultimately this section will be able to come out of poverty because of that. Okay. Presently 2%. Not registered. Kudumbashri, I know more of as an SHG, working for employment. Employment in waste collection. Okay. Okay. Kudumshri, I knew more as a SHG, but knew Kudumshri as producing certain products. Did not know about waste collection also. So Kudumshri and SHG working for waste collection can be an example to this. Okay, But I'm saying ki ultimately SHG is still I'm asking them to be joining the municipality, matlab registered employment. Okay, SHG is self-employment grouping, right? The recommendation of Parliamentary Standing Committee was to register them in municipality. Okay, register this as a formal employment. Okay. Okay, the recommendations, amongst the recommendations was also phase-wise timetable. Matlab, within this period, we will be able to remove the or reduce the plastic waste. Within this period, we will be able to reduce the size of our landfills or dumping sites. Okay, so ultimately, there was a phase-wise timetable recommended by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Okay, it also spoke about inclusion of all stakeholders and inclusion of rag pickers because they have the greatest contribution. Okay, one of the greatest contribution is coming from rag pickers, and extract the recyclables because I told you they will segregate glass, metal, plastic. Okay, so we will be able to segregate this. Because of their help we will be able to segregate waste. I was telling this, you remember Bangalore has come up as one of the best practices because they have developed dry waste collection center. At these dry waste collection centers, all these rag pickers will deposit. Okay, they will be getting money out of it, but they will deposit glass, metal, plastic, and all other recyclables. At these dry waste collection center, processing is carried out. Okay, after processing, plastic is reused, metal is reused, glasses are reused. Okay? So, dry waste collection centers in cities can be examples. The Parliamentary Standing Committee was stating we can set up such kind of dry waste collection center on the basis of what Bangalore has done in other areas also. Okay? And the waste to wealth can be one of the solution. This solution has come up from PM's STIAC. Okay, this is science, technology, innovation. This is Prime Minister's this is a recommending, advising body. Please check. PMSTIAC, Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. I think so. Just check. PMSTIAC. Advisory Council, right? So, PMSTIAC has recommended waste to wealth as one of the recommendation to tackle the solid waste. Okay.
The people who come to our house and buy the old newspaper and all,
They are also, yes, they are also rag pickers. They are also rag pickers. The ones who are collecting metals, cans, they are also rag pickers. Okay. Now coming to plastic pollution. With this we have plastic waste management. I'll give you 5 minutes break and then we will begin with these three parts. Plastic, waste to dispose. Huh? Plastic as a major contaminant. Oh, I thought while preparing the slides, I had this in mind, but missed it. No, we will discuss it in next class for sure. Microplastic we'll discuss here, but ghost nets and all, not only microplastics, big plastics which are left suspended, or nets which are left suspended in water bodies, they are they are causing large scale marine deaths. That part. Nets which are fishing nets which are left in water. So that's also plastic pollution only, right? Marine plastic pollution is one topic which is left that we need to read. Okay. We'll start from 11:30. Shift towards a circular economy to reduce waste. And we'll read about circular economy today itself. pollutants must be either 2.5 or 10. Just add it to this information. See, if the information is very deeply stated, this is a very deep statement, right? There must be 3 pollutants, one of them must be 2.5 or 10, then in general such statements are correct, because this would have been directly taken from PIB or PRS. That's why the statement is very big. Getting my point? But this tool will not work everywhere. This tool will not work everywhere. But I'm telling you, if your attempts are less than 85, then take this risk. Okay? That was related to AQI.
What is the statement?
I'll read out the statement. It is calculated only if data are available. It is calculated only if data are available for minimum 3 pollutants. For minimum 3 pollutants, out of which one should be either PM 2.5 or 10. Out of which one should be either PM 2.5 or 10. Done? Are we having any incident of cloudburst in India? Cloudburst plus landslide. So when you are reading about this cloudburst or landslide, or we will be reading it in current affairs class also, if you are making notes on your own, then write the disaster management guidelines also related to cloudburst or landslides. Okay? Mark the areas in India which are more prone to landslides. Certain areas in Uttarakhand, certain areas in Western Ghats. Okay? And why certain area has turned more prone towards landslide, because earlier Western Ghats was not very much prone to landslides. Now it has become so. So why this change? Okay. Okay, if I get more questions, I'll ask. Just one more related to CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board. With respect to CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, what is the act that has created CPCB? What is the act that has created CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board? Which act? Correct. So you can eliminate the statement. Listen, about CPCBs, you have to tell me whether the statements are true or not. The first statement is, it was established under Environment Protection Act. No? Everybody know? Okay. Agreed. No. Established under Prevention and Control of Pollution. Water Prevention and Control of Pollution. Okay. It is under the administrative control of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It is under the administrative control of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. That is why any scheme coming from this ministry, if it is related to pollution, then CPCB automatically becomes the nodal agency. Okay. It is under the administrative control of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Is it a statutory body, executive body, or a constitutional body? Anyone saying executive body or constitutional body? Now, are you clear with 3? No, I was actually asking about her. Clear about 3? Statutory, constitutional, executive. Can you give me an example of all of 3? if you smile more, your teeth will come out. No, it's okay. You should, that's very good practice. You don't have to control it. But you are clear with the example of 3? No, you were smiling. I thought you. Acha. Okay. Anybody else who is not clear with the concept of 3? You don't know the example is fine, but are you? Sorry, louder. Is a very good. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. A body is called as a constitutional body only if it has a constitutional backing. So what is the article number? 324, correct. 324 is the article number which has a backing of Election Commission of India. Finance Commission? What is emergency? National emergency. 360. Okay. What about President's rule? And 365. Last 2 digits interchange. 356, 365. Both are related to President's rule. Okay. So I was asking, Finance Commission is 280. Constitutional body because it has a constitutional article backing to it. Okay, Article 280 says that there shall be a Finance Commission constituted by President every 5 years and all that. Okay, responsible. Okay, is Finance Commission news? 16th Finance Commission. The government is planning to set up the next Finance Commission. 16th. Who is the chairman of 15th Finance Commission? Who was encasing? Any reference to encasing? Correct. FRBM, chairman of FRBM Review Committee. See, this is how you are supposed to read current affairs. Getting my point? From one chain, you need to shift to another chain. Don't go deeper. Shift to one side. Okay? For example, let's say you are reading about difference, then you should be knowing example of these 3. Let's say if you are reading Finance Commission and you read that the 15th one was chaired by encasing, then who was encasing? Encasing is a popular name also because of FRBM Review Committee. Now you read about FRBM, that is not my problem. Economics, FRBM. Okay? So we were talking about constitutional body which has a constitutional backing. Okay? A body is called as a statutory body if it has a legal backing. A law should be creating that kind of that body. Okay? For example, CPCB. CPCB is created by Water Prevention and Control of Pollution. That means it has an act which is backing it, so it becomes a statutory body. Okay? Any other example? Okay, Bar Council of India, CBI. Delhi Police Establishment Act is not the body which has created CBI. It has the powers from that act. Okay? National Human Rights Commission. Okay, NHRC. Okay, CVC is also a statutory body. Vigilance Commission, backing from CVC Act itself. Usually, if we say that a body is statutory, matlab the name of the act will also be same. NHRC Act say NHRC, CVC Act say CVC. Usually this is the case. National Commission for Women say National Commission of Women. Okay? And the last one, that's the executive body. A body is called as an executive body only if it has been simply created by executive. Okay? No constitutional backing, no legal backing. Today it is there, tomorrow it might not be there. For example, Planning Commission. You don't even need permission from legislature to create this body. If you are needing permission from legislature to create a body, that means it is a law, that means it becomes a statutory body. Okay? In terms of power, the body which is created by constitution will have maximum power. If after this, the body which is created by statute or law, matlab passed by permission of legislature, it will have second most power. And the least power will be that of an executive body. For example, Planning Commission or Niti Aayog. Okay? So the second statement was whether it's a constitutional body, executive body or statutory body. The answer is, everybody clear about this? Clear? Okay. It is responsible for improving the quality of air and prevention of air pollution in the country. CPCB is responsible for improving the quality of air and prevention of air pollution in the country. Not true. अभी तो AQI पढ़े यार. Just now, air quality index has a nodal agency CPCB only, right? So it is responsible for improving the quality of air and prevention of air pollution in the country. Okay? Okay, now coming to the plastic, because we have next question from plastic pollution. Okay, so with respect to plastic pollution, this is some of the data that you need to remember. 26,000 tons of plastic generated per day in India. Okay? In terms of consumer, in terms of usage, India's per capita consumption is around 11 kgs. That of US is 109 kgs. Okay? We are still 4th and 5th to the rank. Okay? Per capita plastic consumption almost 11 kgs in India. In US it is 109 kgs. Now coming to the plastic waste management rules, again coming in 2016 itself, same year as that of solid waste management rules. Okay. So under this, the first provision, and this is the most important one, this is known as the extended producer responsibility. Extended producer responsibility matlab, it is the responsibility of the producer to collect back whatever waste it is generating. Okay. So if you are ordering, let's say, a phone from Amazon, and you are getting the packaging material, that bubble plastic material, so whoever has produced that bubble plastic material, it is their responsibility to collect back this plastic material also. Okay? That is why we are calling it as extended producer responsibility. Matlab, producer will have to reach to the last mile to collect back whatever waste it has generated. That means it must track whatever it is producing. It must track whoever are the retail customers. It must track where all these retail customers have sold their products, right? So it becomes the responsibility of the producer to collect back the plastic waste it is generating. Okay? Second is plastic packaging. Especially for rigid plastic, you must try to reuse it. Okay? Now what comes under rigid plastic is the density, plastic density. Whether it is less than a certain criteria, whether it is greater than 5 microns, whether it is greater than 10 microns, 10 millimeters. Okay? So depending upon the density, a category of plastics known as rigid plastics, it must be reused. These are examples of ones that are used in plastic packaging. Okay? Plastic packaging का examples can be thick plastic, नहीं, rigid plastics I'm saying, rigid, that will not move. Okay, plastic packaging में rigid, नहीं, water bottles, cans, water cans, or the ones carrots wherein milk or curd is stored, that blue color carrot, that can be also example of packaging. Plastic packaging matlab anything which is rigid in nature, greater than certain density, that we do not know, that we don't have to get into. Okay? But it should be a rigid plastic which is used for packaging, which must be reused under the plastic waste management rules. Okay? Now, under this, we also need to develop a centralized online portal. And what will this portal do? It will, this will maintain that this plastic has moved through this path. So if we have to collect back, we will have to cross this path. Basically, it is a single point, a data repository, a database which is writing down that this producer has produced this much amount of plastic, sold to such and such retailers. These retailers have sold in such and such areas. Okay? So the centralized online portal maintained by CPCB will have a task to maintain data of production, consumption and distribution. Okay? And orders and guidelines. On the basis of this, there will be certain guidelines given to every plastic producer. Okay? So are you following these guidelines or not? That will also be maintained by CPCB under centralized online portal itself. Okay? Now, under this, we will also have a provision of polluter pays principle. Polluter pays principle you will find very commonly in environment. It is also present in all environmental meets also. Polluter pays principle matlab whoever is polluting, they will pay. Okay? So, if you are not fulfilling the EPR targets, EPR matlab extended producer responsibility targets, if you are not fulfilling, then you will have to pay penalty. ठीक है, and this will be paid by producer, importer as well as the brand owner, ठीक है. So anybody who is making use of plastic, who is producing, giving it to someone, who is producing and using, who is bringing it from outside, everybody will be coming under the EPR regime, ठीक है. And if you are not following the EPR targets, then you will have to pay penalty for this, ठीक है. Now after this we found that this industries are not following EPR, and we are not even able to track which industry was not able to follow this EPR. For example, let's say me as Amazon, I was making use of, I bought plastics from somewhere and made use in packaging industry and sold it off, okay? I did not fulfill my extended producer responsibility. So what is the penalty? How will government find out that I was the one who did not follow this, okay? So now what they started doing is, now they have come up with the idea of EPR certificates, okay? And this you will be finding in energy also by the name e-certificates itself, e-certs, okay, in carbon credits. Same term you will be finding here. We are talking about EPR certificates, and in carbon credits you will be finding it in the form of e-certs, okay? So the concept is same. For example, every I'll explain you this one, then you explain me this one, okay? In this what happens is, every industry is given a limit to release carbon. Matlab, as you as a steel industry, you are maximum allowed to release such and such amount of carbon, okay? You as an aluminium industry are maximum allowed to release such and such amount of carbon. Now you are let's say you're a very environment friendly person, so you started taking measures ki, let me reduce this carbon emission, okay? I will shift towards green energy, solar and all that, at least to make use of for whatever electricity is used in within the office. For example, light fan ke liye, let me start using solar and wind energy, so my carbon consumption will reduce, and I have allocation of, let's say 20 tons of carbon, okay? My consumption was only 10 tons of carbon. Now I have an advantage of 10 tons, okay? What I'll do is, I will generate a certificate out of it and sell it off, because I have released only 10 tons of carbon. Someone else did not take any measure. They are releasing, let's say 40 tons. You, let's say as an aluminium industry, have 10 tons itself as a target, but you have released 40 tons. Now you require certificate for 30 tons, so you will take one certificate from her, okay? You will go and take one certificate from her. So this is how e-certs will work in terms of carbon credit. Carbon credit matlab, there is allocation of release of carbon. If you are releasing less amount of carbon, you can make money out of it, okay? So it will have a kind of incentivization that people will start releasing, industries will start releasing less amount of carbon, okay? Now same principle is used here. Now can somebody explain me EPR certificate?
If someone collects same plastic, then they can bring us.
No. So there is an EPR target. For example, 40 tons of plastic waste collection is my target, okay? I was able to collect, let's say 30 tons itself. I have missed 10 tons of target, and someone else collected 50 tons. They have exceeded 10 tons, so I will buy a certificate from them. I'll pay them money, okay? So this is how ultimately plastic will be collected. At least once it is collected, then we can process it, recycle it, reuse it. That's different. But the collection was a problem, because we were not able to find out the faulting industries. Now what we have done is, we have allocated you as an industry must fulfill this much amount of EPR target, okay, in terms of plastic waste collection. If you exceed your target, you sell it off. If you have released collected less of your target, you buy it, okay? This was the mechanism used in EPR certificates. Will be used in carbon credits also. Earlier in next few classes you will be seeing, okay? So this is how we manage this problem. Now, two types of plastic which was in news within 5 years, we will be discussing about it. The first one is single-use plastic, which was in news because it was completely banned from July 2022. Okay? Single-use plastics have been completely banned from 1st July 2022. Have you used single-use plastic in markets? Yes, I have also used in Karnataka, Bengaluru. Huh? Yeah, I have used it. It is banned in Karnataka. 25 states may it is banned in India. But at least 4 states may I have only used single-use plastics. Okay, yeah, shopkeepers are not supposed to keep single-use plastic. And what is single-use plastic? Very commonly, polythene bags. Polythene bags is an example of single-use plastic. Okay, so presently single-use plastic is banned in entire India. From 1st of July 2022, it is banned in entire India. Before this, it was banned in 25 states. Okay. The penalty under EPA, Environment Protection Act, is either 5 years or 1 lakh. So if you complain about that shopkeeper, the shopkeeper will have to pay the penalty of either will go to jail for 5 years or will have to pay for 1 lakh.
Rather than penalizing shopkeepers, we can ban the production of single-use plastic.
I'm trying to find out, is there any problem in doing this?
It can be used in other industries.
I'm saying it is totally banned in India. Matlab cannot be used in any industry also. But see, the problem is there is no replacement to this. Jute bags में water leakage occurs.
Then what is the point in penalizing
Sing.
shopkeepers?
Bioplastics can replace it, but it is not a cheaper option. Not a cheaper option. But yes, still ultimately, if you have to completely ban it, then you remove the production itself.
Then penalizing shopkeepers is
Correct. Okay, I'll agree to this point. He's saying why if we are banning it and penalizing it, you instead stop the production itself. Okay, there must be some problem why they're not stopping the production. The problem is smoking smoke, huh? Money is involved there, na? In plastic, money is not involved.
Single-use plastic is still used in many other industries like.
But if it is being banned, matlab banned from industries also, right? Total ban. You mean to say about microplastics, not single use? Acha, thickness. I did. It's less than 5 microns. But nahi. No, but why are we not stopping the production is his question.
The production of lower thickness plastic is low or stopped or something. Less than 100 microns, it is not.
and it is easy to penalize general public.
No, it is not banned completely, but 100 less than 100 microns.
But for that only, his question is, let's say for less than 100 microns, it is total ban. Okay? His question is, why are we not stopping the production? No. We are rather importing plastics as a waste.
It is here to penalize the
Yeah.
public, not the huge industry. Because it is a huge industry in plastic, so they will not be having much power to stop them. The government doesn't have power.
So,
If they will have power, they will have stopped.
government is not having power, then who is having power?
Like, all the big people will be involved in this big trade, it's a huge.
Agreed that plastic is a very big business, but single-use plastic I do not see as a very big business. Thin polythene bags.
It is used in sellotape, production of sellotape, stationery items.
No, sellotape is also single-use only.
I'm asking about plastic
Bags. Why plastic bags? And don't have an answer to this. Why are they not stopping the production? But plastic, I will still agree. Is okay. Let us find out about this part. What is the political nexus involved here? The amount of money involved here. Sorry, huh?
It's also illogical to fine shopkeepers because you are producing it, so they are using
It. So you stop the production. That's what. There are some 5 categories. I don't know whether I wrote it here. There are certain 5 categories which what is banned and what is not. Okay. So we will have to look into that part. Only for a small category. Let's say, are you checking the sheet wherein they have mentioned whether it is banned or not? It's less than. So
Balloons they are banned. plastics they have that can be
official website of CPCB. So rigid plastic packaging में that will come. वो water bottles and cans, वो oil cans, plastic cans, all that will come. नहीं banning वाला कहाँ है इसमें? Here we have only plastic packaging under. There is a sheet from PIB itself. I did not include it in the slide. Sorry. Attend sheet. The problem with?
Single-use plastic, they cannot be recycled.
The problem with single-use plastic and decomposition, I mean, it breaks down very fast. The problem with single-use plastic is it will break down very fast. Not decomposition, I'm saying, break down very fast. So because it breaks down, it will turn into microplastic. Now tracing the microplastic is a very big problem. Single-use plastic is not. Multi-layered plastic packaging is not completely banned here. I'm saying only single-use plastic. The most common one is that thin, correct. Plastic spoons also. Can, what we eat, plastic box, straw, spoons. These are all banned. Are you not using it from restaurants? It's still, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I have only used it in 4 of these 25 states. Sorry? It's very cheap. It's very.
If we use recyclable plastic, it will cost around 4 rupees for one.
That's what.
If we 10 rupees, I think 4 rupees.
It's correct. It is very cheap is a problem. That single-use plastic is very cheaply available, so people are using it. Now let us find out. Please send this also as a reminder. I'll find out about the political nexus involved. Why are we not able to cut down the production itself, okay, of single-use plastic? So can be used only once. Plastic bags, water bottles, all of this will be coming under the single-use plastic. This is the highest amongst all the plastics used. No, production mein ban is not there. The penalty, see the penalty? 5 lakh, 5 years or 1 lakh industries. For industries, 1 lakh is such a small amount. No, I think it is only for usage. I'm very pretty sure about this. It is only for usage. Single-use plastic is banned.
Garbage disposal bags, the black ones.
That is also single-use, but it is nowadays they are selling biodegradable ones. They are all selling the biodegradable ones. Okay, and they are the ones who are responsible for 5 to 10% of greenhouse gas emission. See, production.
Manufacturing, import.
Directions have been issued. Plastic raw material manufacturers to stop supplying plastic raw material for manufacture banned. Okay, so the production itself is banned. Manufacturing is also banned. Plastic raw materials manufacturers must stop supplying plastic raw material for manufacturers banned single-use plastic items. It is not. Production is also banned. Confusion only solved. Confusion only solved. No, we are getting it because all of this is can be the ones that are already produced, or can be the ones which is not under the legal visible eyes of the law. Okay, in the informal economy it can still be manufactured. Okay, so the production itself is banned. Okay, 1/3 of the plastics manufactured. The problem here is it will release dioxins. Combustion of single-use plastics will release dioxins, a very toxic gas. Okay, first problem, air pollution. Second problem is also related to water pollution. It will break down very fast and it turns to microplastics. Microplastics are the ones which are very small in the range of 1 millimeter to 1 micrometer. Okay? So it breaks down very fast and turns into microplastics. I'm not talking about decomposition. Okay? I'm talking about breaking. So that becomes a problem. Okay, single use plastic is also a problem because of the marine life, I mean aquatic pollution. Okay. Now coming to microplastics, this is mostly present, you would have seen here, especially girls. Cosmetics mein what we see as a scrubber is actually a microplastic. No, genuinely, that's a very sorry state of affair. In soaps, if close up, correct, toothpaste. Okay, I was not expecting this from guys, but yes, toothpaste mein what you have that crystals is actually microplastic. Okay, in the range of nahi, you see it get, in water bodies it is ultimately found. It's such small particles. All of this will not melt. It will go in water only. Okay, especially in cosmetics, in toothpaste also it is there. The one that close up, yes, plastic is there in all that scrub. You remove that. You don't use it on brush. You just touch it in hand and you will see. You rub it with water. You will see. Ultimately, they will be deposited on your hands, and all that is entering into water body. I'm not talking about one specific brand. I'm talking about all brands. It is present in all brands. Okay, and exfoliation, whatever cosmetics is used, or in soap also it is present. I think in Lux or something, that crystals that is there. If you touch it and wash your hand with water, it will still be there on your hand. It is actually a microplastic only. Okay. Turtles, all marine life. I was reading one example today. They have found 15 kgs, 15 kgs of plastic in one cow in UP. Okay, and the cow died ultimately, but there was no other option other than surgery. Okay, and they cut open the stomach and they found 15 kgs. You imagine 15 kgs of plastic in an animal. Okay. Not microplastic, plastic. They are also found. They are entering into food chain. From food chain, they are getting deposited in fishes, in turtles, or any other marine species. Okay? All of this is entering into water body, mostly present in personal care products, cosmetics, and toothpaste. It passes filtration and treatment process. I told you because they are very small in size. Okay? So it passes the filtration process. Recently found in fresh Arctic snow of Arctic mein. Fresh snow mein you would still expect snow coming from sky, right? It is still there. That is the extent of involvement of microplastics in our life. Okay? It affects mostly marine life, and they are very carcinogenic in nature. Okay? Cancer causing. Okay, now coming to the solutions. Because people are buying it. No, not cheap. See, exfoliation ke liye people are using it, right? Why no alternative? There is, you can go by natural solutions, na? Who will pay extra money? And oh, why in general plastic, or why microplastic you're saying? No, you stop carrying, you stop going empty-handed to market. Start carrying a jute bag, or any bag for that matter, cloth bag also. You start carrying a cloth bag, you will only replace half of the plastics. You start carrying water bottles to market when you are going out. You will stop buying those plastic bottles. Correct. Bamboo products, wooden products. We can only start replacing in our life. Sorry, to ban microplastics. It's all curdles. Microplastic crystals are spelling once again. Acha, NURDLES, nurdles. Acha. Okay, so those microplastics are also known as nurdles, NURDLES. Okay, so if you get this term, don't get scared, you know the meaning. Okay, where are we? Microplastics. Okay, so what is the solution? Solution is domestic consumption. Reduce the domestic consumption. Start carrying a cloth bag or start carrying. Correct. Eco-friendly materials can be wood, can be bamboo, or any other thing replaced with plastics. Can be jute bags also. Okay. Now, what has government done in its own part, and what has been done, steps taken at international levels? Okay, one example is that of road construction in Tamil Nadu and Himachal. In road construction, they have put up a layer of plastic. Okay, there are so many advantages associated to it. First is lesser chances of road destruction. Okay, because plastic will be able to absorb that weight. The reason why roads are getting broken at places is because some places may there is unequal distribution of tar. Okay, so some places are able to carry the weight, the others are not able to carry the weight. So that's the reason this distribution is carried, the load is taken up by plastic. Okay, so putting up a layer of plastic below the tar reduces the destruction of roads itself. Okay, plus you have a easy area of it can be reused in these areas. Okay, the problem with plastic is how to get rid of them. Okay, there is no other solution to get rid of them. You will have to go for either recycling or reuse. Okay, or start using it in other areas. Okay, so road
This will contribute to microplastic.
no, they are very thick plastics which are being layered.
For road construction.
No, it will not cause microplastic. No, that's what I'm saying. They're thick ones deposited beneath the tar.
And is there a solvent for plastics?
Matlab something that can dissolve?
Yeah.
Nahi. Under research only, this is under research area. Matlab there are certain bacteria which can be made use of in small local levels, but large scale this cannot be done.
Whatever damage has been done by microplastic, irreversible, right? Unless we find
Some other solution. Until and unless we find out by research some other solution, as of now, because tracing itself is a problem, they will pass the filtration process.
it can be done.
Acha. Okay. So if tracing can be done, then collection is relatively easier, right? If you know the area where it is.
In the last year, he has taken an example of Netravati river mining. They dump plastics and all there. So microplastic get released. We can trace it by some dyeing and it glows. It does not glow in electron microscope. It shows that there is a
Plastic.
microplastic.
But how do we collect it?
Because they are micro.
Like you semi-permeable membranes, we can still collect it, right?
Macro.
Everything is connected.
Huh?
It will be used combined with microplastic also. Other materials also there. There is no
If it is doesn't look like any feasible option till now, but maybe under research things can come out. Okay, we can find out any bacteria. For example, we found out a bacteria which can take oil spill, right? So we can still find out bacteria which can take up microplastics, but under research only. Till now, we do not have a solution, and whatever solution we have can be done only on a local level, in lab level. Okay, it cannot be done on a implementation level. Okay. So we have signed an India Plastic Pact. This is basically name of the pact is only Plastic Pact. Okay. This is Confederation of Indian Industries plus World Wildlife Fund. Okay, WWF. So the Plastic Pact is the idea of World Wildlife Fund. Okay, Indian part of it is taken up by Confederation of Indian Industries, CII. Okay. What they are doing is they have collaborated, all businesses, all government, all NGOs, they will come together and we will shift from linear to circular plastic economy. Okay? Circular plastic economy matlab you bring back whatever plastic is being produced to the production cycle itself. Okay? You recycle it, reuse it, do whatever, but do not leave it unattended. ठीक है, you pull it back into the economy. So that was the idea under the plastic pact, ठीक है. Now there was another project of KVIC, this is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, ठीक है. KVIC is basically working on khadi and other village related products, ठीक है. So it is looking under project replan, it is looking for certain products which can replace plastic itself, ठीक है. Another convention was signed by United Nations Environment Assembly, which again was talking about the same thing. Matlab, we need to shift towards a circular economy in terms of plastic production, ठीक है. Whatever you are generating, do not leave it unattended, bring it back to the production cycle, ठीक है. And amongst the government steps, there can also be total ban on single-use plastic or using it for road construction. Now, the solutions to soil pollution. The solutions to soil pollution can be, first one can be open dumps. In open dumps, what we are doing is simply in open piece of land, we are dumping waste. This is the most common one, what we have seen around us. This is the most common one, open dumps. In the other one, that's landfill, what we are doing is we are creating a dump, creating open pit, okay, dumping all the waste here and covering it with a layer of soil. So that is landfill, okay. In case of sanitary landfills, we are segregating it and the organic part is only dumped and covered with soil, so decomposition will occur, the soil will ultimately become healthy. This is not a healthy solution. Landfill mein organic plus inorganic, everything mixed and dumped and covered, okay. And incineration plants mein what we are doing is we are conducting combustion there. Matlab, we are adding combustible substance to organic dump and within a closed environment, we are burning them and generating biogas out of it. Okay? That is incineration plant. Again, mostly useful if it is organic products, not going on with inorganic ones. Okay? Okay. The other solution can be pyrolysis. Pyrolysis matlab we are burning in the absence of oxygen, okay, and collecting the gas, using that gas for combustion. That is pyrolysis. In incineration, we are burning it in the presence of oxygen itself. Okay. Composting can be another solution wherein we are creating compost. Organic matter ko you dump in soil, mix it with soil, leave it for decomposition, then the soil becomes healthy. Now again, you dump the next round of organic waste, cover it with soil, leave it for decomposition, the soil will become healthy. So in this case, you are putting up batches of organic products, okay, creating that compost. Next is example of vermiculture. Vermiculture mein what we are doing is vermicompost. Basically, we are putting up earthworms, okay, because they are the ones who are saprotrophs, decomposition ke liye they are responsible, so they will decompose the organic waste and make the soil healthier, okay. And waste minimization circles, we were discussing this today, right? I was telling you this idea is implemented in waste minimization circle. It is a group of industries, okay, and the group of industry, this is an initiative by World Bank. In India, it is implemented by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The small and medium industrial clusters, whatever waste they are generating, we will have a waste minimization circle. Matlab, whatever waste they are generating, we will try to segregate the waste here itself. Whatever is biodegradable, generate a compost out of it. Whatever is non-biodegradable, you recycle or reuse it. Okay? So in this manner, within clusters, we will be able to solve that waste problem, solid waste problem itself. It will not turn out to become a one big problem. Okay? This was the idea initiated by World Bank in India, implemented by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And with respect to hazardous waste, we have 3 conventions to write. But before that, you answer this question. Okay, the statement is you need to identify what is the type of waste disposal. Okay? The statement is in this method of waste disposal, a huge pit is made in an open area and the waste including both organic and inorganic waste are dumped into this pit. Once the pits are filled with waste, they will be covered with soil and left for decomposition. Landfilling, right? If it was only organic, then it was sanitary landfill. Okay, why is there a great concern about the microbeads? Microbeads is the alternative name for microplastics. Okay, microplastic, microbeads, BEADS, microbeads. What is the concern related to microbeads is the question. Okay, this is the alternative name for microplastics. Okay, so the first statement is they are considered harmful to marine ecosystems. Second, they are considered to cause skin cancer in children. They are small enough to be absorbed by crop plants in irrigated fields. They are often found to be used as food adulterants. Now, if I tell you only one of them is correct, then first. If only one of them is correct, then first. Okay. Plastic waste management rules we read, right? We have read about plastic waste management rules, na? Extended producer responsibility. Okay. So consider the following statements regarding plastic waste management rules. Okay. The first statement is rural areas are excluded from the applicability of the rules. Rural areas are excluded from the applicability of the rules. How many of you are saying false? I'll give you a fact related to this. But yes, those who are correct, saying this is false, this is incorrect, because rural areas are included in this rules. Unfortunately, the use of plastic is more in rural areas as compared to urban areas. Okay? The rules provided for phasing out of non-recyclable multi-layered plastics. Phasing out of non-recyclable multi-layered plastics. This is as a fact, you remember it. If you are writing it somewhere in your notes, please add this fact. Okay? The rules for plastic waste management rules speaks about phasing out of non-recyclable multi-layered plastics. Okay? Phasing out, remove. The third one is the rule aims to decrease the thickness of plastic bags from 50 to 40 microns. If it is talking about decreasing the thickness, it will never be true. Okay? It will always talk about increasing the thickness, because decreasing thickness is it has a greater chance of turning towards microplastic. So the statement, I'll repeat, the rule aims to decrease the thickness of plastic bags from 50 to 40 microns. This is incorrect. Okay? And the last one, shopkeepers willing to use plastic bags shall register with the local body. No, this is correct. This is correct. How do you extended producer responsibility? कैसे काम करेगा फिर? Until and unless a shopkeeper is see, the statement is if the shopkeeper is willing to use plastic, they must register themselves with the local body. Until and unless they do not register, how will we implement extended producer responsibility? Extended producer responsibility means we need to go to the last shopkeeper, right? So they must be registered with the local body. So the fourth statement is also correct. Okay? Done with microplastics, right? Oh, 3 pollution. And that's the last part for today. Oh, okay. Okay, so coming to 3 conventions. So we were talking about the last part in soil pollution, that is the hazardous waste. So with respect to hazardous waste, we have 3 major conventions we need to remember. The first one is Stockholm related to persistent organic pollutants. Persistent matlab it is living in atmosphere for a long period of time. Okay? This is persistent. Plus it is organic. If it is organic, it is not a very big problem, but because it is living for a very long period of time, it can be a problem. For example, methane, carbon dioxide, persistent, living for a long period of time. But in general, persistent organic pollutants, we are talking about pesticides, endosulfan, DDT and all that. Okay? Recently, Government of India has introduced 4 more pesticides in this list. We don't need to remember the name of the pesticides. I checked the name also. If any one of them was running in use, none of them, chlorobenzene, none of them were running in use. So we don't need to read about those chemicals. Okay? But the change here is recently Government of India has added 4 more pesticides under POP list of Stockholm. Okay? This is also important because it is a GEF funded organization, GEF funded convention. The financing is done by GEF, although right now GEF whether we have money or not, developed by or developing or not, does not matter. It is a GEF funded convention. मतलब its implementation will require money in this fund. ठीक है. The next one is the Basel Convention. Basel Convention is talking about the transboundary movement of hazardous substance. ठीक है. So if I tell you that India is the largest ship wrecking industry of the world, largest ship wrecking industry of the world, India is so. Okay, within India, Gujarat, there is a place by the name Alang, A-L-A-N-G, Alang. This is the largest ship wrecking industry across the world, and India is the one who is calling for shipwrecking. Okay, so that means it is coming under Basel Convention because it is transboundary movement of hazardous substance. Old wrecked ships are broken, okay, beaten and broken down into smaller pieces in Alang. This is a place in Gujarat, and this has made India one of the largest ship wrecking industry of the world. Okay, so this is coming under Basel Convention. In general, developing countries are the ones who are calling the developed countries to deposit their hazardous substance. We say that we will reclaim or recycle or reuse it, but ultimately this hazardous wastes are being dumped. I don't. Did we discuss about refinery? Saudi Arabia setting up a refinery in Maharashtra? I think Ratnagiri. So I think I've discussed it in IR class. Saudi Arabia is planning to set up an oil refinery in India. These developed countries are not willing to set up refinery in their own country because it is a major pollutant. Okay, it will release emissions. It will have emissions. It will release hazardous substance. So they are saying, I will extract crude petroleum, but you refine it in your country. Okay. So that is again coming under Basel Convention. Basel Convention will include all the transboundary movement of hazardous substance. Okay. And the third one is the Rotterdam Convention. Rotterdam Convention is talking about prior informed consent procedure. Prior informed consent procedure matlab, I am sending such and such hazardous chemical to your country. Okay. This is hazardous chemical, need not be necessarily waste. Okay. This need not be necessarily waste. This is just a hazardous chemical. Because I am sending this hazardous chemical to your country, so I will develop a document related to this. This document will be known as prior informed consent procedure. In this document, I'll mention that this hazardous substance should not meet with such and such chemicals, should not be exposed with such and such air, such and such kind of air, should not be met with such and such aquatic environment. So such kind of prohibitory statements I must give to the country wherein I am sending the hazardous chemical. Okay? So this is known as prior informed consent procedure. Okay? So I'll inform the country which is importing, I'll inform them that this is a hazardous chemical which should not meet with such and such chemical, should not react with such and such chemical, should not be mixed with water or oil or fat or anything like that. Okay? Hazardous chemicals and pesticides, all this is coming under Rotterdam Convention. You remember this term because we will be reading it again in biodiversity. Okay? Nagoya and Cartagena protocols, we will be reading it again. But as of now, you understood the meaning of this, right? Prior informed consent procedure. So what question you will be getting from here is, they will mention Stockholm. In one side of the table, they will mention Stockholm, Basel, Rotterdam. The other side of the table, they will mention transboundary POP and prior informed consent procedure for hazardous chemicals. Okay? And they will say which one is correctly matched and which one is not. Okay? That is how you can expect questions from conventions. Okay. One more thing I had to tell you here. Okay, you take the photo pictures. I'm able to recall. I'll tell you here. Here only, right? Done with this part, na? Done? Done with this one? Did I miss answering somebody's question? Why do I feel that something is missing? Somebody asked me any question? Okay. Done? Done? And one last thing is this. Oh, that is why e-waste is also left. Okay, we'll finish off with soil pollution today. Two more things. So the solutions to soil pollution can be bioremediation. Matlab there can be in situ solution. In situ matlab the solution is taken up at the place of problem itself. Okay? Ex situ matlab we are shifting the solution to somewhere else. Matlab we are shifting the pollutants to somewhere else. Okay, and then solving it there. So in situ matlab the solution is there itself. What we are doing is we are basically adding air and nutrients. By bio-venting, we are adding air and nutrients and making the soil fertile. Once it becomes fertile, then it will start the decomposition process and the soil becomes healthy. Okay? So that can be one of the solution. The other solution is that of biosparging. Biosparging matlab we are adding oxygen to this, oxygen to soil. Okay, the problem here is if we continuously keep on dumping solid waste again and again on the piece of land, that means it will not be able to, it is not getting sufficient amount of air for decomposition. So what we are doing is we are injecting oxygen here, supplying air. Okay, by presence of oxygen, decomposition will begin and the things will start breaking down. Organic matter will start decomposing and breaking down. Okay? And the third one is bio-augmentation. Bio-augmentation matlab we are augmenting something, adding something, and that is microorganisms. Okay? We are by adding, this can be, vermiculture can be example, vermicompost can be example of microorganisms. Matlab we are adding microorganisms to increase the decomposition capacity of the soil. Okay? There can be other solutions, that is ex situ. Ex situ with composting we know. Right, composting matlab organic manure, organic matter is added to the soil, covered with a layer of soil, and we wait for it to decompose. Again, you add the organic matter, cover it with the soil, and wait for it to decompose. So that is how you generate a compost out of it. Okay, land farming, what we are doing is we are taking the organic pollutant and distributing it on a large piece of land. Okay, and again covering it with soil, mixing it there. Wait for it to decompose. Okay, slow breakdown. Again, you take organic pollutant, spread it over large piece of soil and mix it with the soil. Again, wait for it to decompose. Okay? So land farming, what we are doing is we are adding organic pollutants and mixing it with soil in a big area. Okay? That is land farming. Bioreactors, again, we are adding certain kind of bioreactors to a big piece of land. Okay? Matlab we are taking the pollutants, adding certain biological catalyst and spreading it over a big piece of land, so that again it is getting decomposed. So all in all, this solution will work only in general for organic pollutants. Okay, for inorganic ones, this will not work. Okay, now coming to the e-waste part. Okay. So in terms of e-waste, in terms of generation, India is the third largest generator after US as well as China. So third ranking in generation of e-waste. So what is government planning? This is the recent update. The current affairs part is this. The government is planning to shift towards a standard charger across all mobile phones. Okay? So this charger will work for this charger will work for this. In this case, we buy too much amount of electronic waste. Nowadays, if you see in mobile phones, they are not giving adapters also to reduce the e-waste. They are just giving you cables. But because in general, cables are the ones that get destroyed easily. Adapters are the ones which will continue for long. So electronic companies, they will mostly give you cables. Okay. So government what is planning to do is they are planning to shift to a standard mobile charger. You don't have to buy a mobile charger if you're changing your mobile itself. Okay? And also to set up a framework for right to repair. Now, right to repair has been a universal point of discussion till now, not implemented completely in India. Okay? But the idea is if you are able to manufacture something, you should also be able to repair something. For example, let's say a fridge. Okay? Fridge has been manufactured and fridge is not working properly because of certain reasons. Did work healthy in a proper manner for 3 years, after which it is not able to repair, work properly. There can be certain changes which can be made in some parts. Some spare part replacement can be done and the fridge will work properly again. Okay? So it is the responsibility of the manufacturer to ensure the repair of the products it has manufactured. Okay? We don't need to dump that fridge and buy another fridge. Okay? So this is right to repair. Has been under a discussion in all international agencies. Now presently government, Ministry of Food and Consumer Affairs, it has started to develop a framework for right to repair, how to implement this right to repair. Okay? Government of India has also set up e-waste clinic in Bhopal. So what we are doing is we are collecting e-waste here, segregating it. Okay, something which is highly toxic, let's say we are recycling it, reusing it, processing it. So ultimately waste segregation and processing is done at e-waste recycling unit, e-waste clinic, which is set up in Bhopal. Okay, so Basel Convention we have already studied, right? Basel Convention, it was transboundary movement of hazardous substances. So here there was a change in Nairobi. Nairobi Declaration to Basel norms has added e-waste in it. Okay? Before this, there was no inclusion of e-waste here. Basel norms itself was discussing only about transboundary hazardous movement of hazardous substance. Under the Nairobi Declaration, we added e-waste in this category. Okay? And 95% are recycled under informal units. Okay? Where do you give, once your laptops are not working properly, where do you give it? Or whom do you give your mobile phones if they are not working properly? Store. Huh? Service center only if it is capable of repairing. What if it is not capable of repairing? Huh? Third party repair centers. Third party repair centers is the most common area. See, you can store it for some time, but what if you have 5-10 mobiles after some time? Because 4 members in a family, all of them are having one mobile phones. Okay.
Collection of electronic these kinds of phones.
So everybody please contact her if you have to repair your mobile phones or give it to third party. Okay. So 95% of the e-waste are being recycled under informal units. Now because they are not under the formal chain, we have the same problem as that of plastic waste management, right? Now they will use certain parts and dispose of with the certain parts without even knowing that there are toxic chemicals involved there. Okay? So we need to, so under the e-waste, government also needs to tackle this part, matlab putting them under formal chain. Okay? So ultimately we came up with the e-waste management rules, the third one coming in 2016. Okay, the first one is EPR certificates. We have discussed EPR certificates in, and what about solid? In solid waste management, did we discuss extended producer responsibility? Is it possible? Is it possible? In solid waste management, extended producer responsibility is not possible. All of us are producers of solid waste, right? So we did not discuss EPR in solid waste management, only in plastic waste. So EPR certificates we are giving in e-waste also. Okay, there will be producing company organizations. So any e-waste any electronic good producing organization will form a producer company organization. Okay? Now this organization will work as a single unit to collect back the e-waste that is being generated in the market. Okay? Again, focus on circular economy. Matlab you are not leaving it unattended, you are pulling it back to the production cycle. Okay? And within state government, they have to provide the land. They will have to provide land within industrial space for recycling and repair. For example, within state government states we have, or areas we have SEZ units, right? SEZ is basically a government piece of land which is meant for exporting the products that is being produced. So within an SEZ, you designate a piece of land. This is the industrial space wherein whatever e-waste is generated in this area must undergo recycling and repair within this area itself. Okay, that means we are decentralizing the recycling process or reusing process or processing process. Okay, ultimately one place mein accumulation will not occur. Okay, and sorry, CPCB is the implementing agency. Okay, Central Pollution Control Board is the implementing agency for e-waste. Okay, thank you so much. We'll discuss the next class. I think we are done with pollution excepting those topics. Few topics are left and we will discuss it in the next class. Please take a picture.